Hey, how's it going, YouTube? I'm back in the video, and today I'm going to talk about why the Atlanta Hawks are about to be very, very scary for the rest of the NBA. Now, I'm getting to in this video a couple reasons why I think the Atlanta Hawks could be an extremely scary team going into the future and going into even next season of the NBA, and how they could be one of the most exciting teams in the entire league next year. So I'm going to be going to all the ends video, so if that sounds interesting to you, or you like the video at any point, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That would mean the absolute world to me. And if you hit the like button, hey, there's a 1 out of 32 chance that your team will win the NBA Finals next year. Trust me, it's facts. Don't even look it up, because that honestly might be wrong. But still, you know what I mean. So just hit the like button, subscribe button if you do like it at any point. But without further ado, without rambling on too much, just get right into this video. Alright, so the first thing I'm beginning to this video is going to be that their entire team is young. Now, a lot of teams have what they like to call a young core of like 3 or 4 players, but the Atlanta Hawks legitimately have like a young team of high quality young talent players. Like, their drafting slash just acquiring of young talent has been very impressive. As I mean, their entire starting lineup, I think the highest age guy on that roster is 28 in the starting lineup, and that is Clint Capela. And yes, Clint Capela has pretty much reached his ceiling. He's still only 28 and has years left of development, and maybe even just playing at the same level he is right now. And if he doesn't get any better, that doesn't matter, because Clint Capela is exactly what the Atlanta Hawks need, which is just a paint presence that can grab rebounds, protect the paint, and score sometimes every once in a while, get offensive rebounds and stuff like that. He's the bruiser that the team needs, and Capela is exactly that at the center position. But then they have other young guys like John Collins at power forward, who I think they just locked up for like 5 or 6 years just now. They just locked him up for, I think, the next 6 years. He has tons of talent, and he could potentially be an all-star one day. Trae Young is going to be locked up for a very long time as well, and he could potentially be a superstar, and he looks like he is well on the way to becoming the next NBA superstar in this league at the point guard position. So for sure, Trae Young, although he will probably never be very good on defense, I think for sure he will always be one of the best offensive players in the entire league if he stays healthy. And then you also have other young guys like Bogdanovich, who's a very confident young scorer in the NBA, who's only going to get better offensively and keep getting more and more confident. And then also Deandre Hunter. Deandre Hunter is a very good, extremely solid player when he can also stay healthy. So that is their starting 5 right there. Those are all extremely good, valuable players that any team would love to have on their roster. But then you even look at their bench. Their bench is just as well, even more impressive, as they have people like Onyeka Okongu, has tons of potential. Like, he's one of my favorite players out of last year's draft. If he could stay healthy, that would help him a lot as well. But he could potentially be one of the best defenders out of last year's draft. He's a big man that can guard the perimeter as well as guarding the paint and protecting the paint, and provide even more rim protection and rebounding for this Atlanta Hawks team down low, and give them even more of a paint presence, which is extremely valuable when you have undersized players like Trae Young on your roster. So having a paint presence with Onyeka Okongu and Clint Capela should be very good going in years to come. And if it does ever come down to where they have to decide to let go of Clint Capela, it's going to make that decision even more easier, because they're going to have Okongu off the bench to replace him. So I think for sure he makes life a lot easier for the Hawks, and he is another one of those young guys that's on this team that has tons and tons of potential. And then they also have people like Huerter off the bench, who's very solid, a very nice 3-point shooter, could potentially be one of the elite shooters in the league one day, which is always extremely valuable. You can never get enough 3-point shooting, and Huerter is exactly like that. He doesn't miss when he's open. He's that knockdown type guy. He's pretty much like a Walmart Klay Thompson, and at his ceiling, he probably is Klay Thompson. I'm never saying he's going to be as good as Klay Thompson. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's pretty much his ceiling of his career, which is an extremely good ceiling to have on your career if you're an NBA player. And then also the biggest name in this, in my opinion, who I think is going to make the biggest difference on this team in years to come, is their rookie Jalen Johnson. I love Jalen Johnson. I loved him going into the draft. He showed out in Summer League. I think he had 2 20-point triple-doubles, or I mean double-doubles. That would be insane if he had triple-doubles. But he had 2 20-point double-doubles, and then he also had another one, I think it was like 16 12-point double-double as well. So I'm pretty sure he had a double-double in every single game, or was at least very very close to one in every single Summer League game. And now I know it's only Summer League, but he has tons of potential. He can play 3-and-D. He can play 1 through 4. He is one of my favorite players out of this draft, and I think they got an absolute steal in Jalen Johnson. And I think for sure he will help this team a ton going into the future. I could see him taking either Deandre Hunter or Bogdanovich's spot in the near future in 1 or 2 years, and him and Trae Young and John Collins could be a legitimate big three if they all develop on the right path to maybe becoming very, very good playoff teams to borderline contenders. And then also Delon White is another solid piece off their bench. Young guy, very solid. He's pretty much at his ceiling, but he's still a very solid player to have off your bench, plus he is young. And the reason I'm so high on this team, because there has been a ton of teams with tons of young talent, but the problem is once that young talent starts developing, they need money, and when they need money, they start to leave, and they can't really keep the contract, so they have to let a few walk. Well, the Atlanta Hawks are very much positioned themselves in a very nice position for the future, as they already have Trae Young signed through 2026, they have Bogdanovich signed through 2024, then they also have Deandre Hunter signed through 2023. Jalen Johnson's on the first year of a 4-year rookie deal, and if they want to extend him, they can. No rookie has ever turned down their rookie extension, and for sure Jalen Johnson wouldn't do it either if the Hawks are still good, and in 4 years I'm sure they will still be fine. So they're going to be able to extend him if they want to. John Collins is signed through 2026 with that new contract he just signed. Okongu has 3 years left on his rookie deal. They'll be able to extend him when they want to. Clint Capela is signed through 2023 and will be replaceable by that time if Onyeka Okongu does develop, or they could also try to re-sign him. They could do a lot of things with Capela when he becomes a free agent in 2023. And then also the only free agent they have coming up, or at least the only major free agent, is Kevin Huerter. That's the only young guy they have that would hurt them if they left, but he is a restricted free agent going into next season, and I'm sure they will re-sign him without a doubt, as you can never get enough elite three-point shooting, and that's exactly what Kevin Huerter is going to give you. He's going to give you that elite three-point shooting, that sharp shooter type guy that every team needs, and with him coming off your bench, if he's on fire, he can legitimately help you win many games if he can come out with a hot hand. So I think for sure they will re-sign him, and they have every chance to, because they are going to be able to, no matter what, re-sign him, as he is a restricted free agent. So I think for sure with how their contracts are set up, they're set up to go very deep into the future with this young group they have, and they could develop into a very, very scary team going into the future in the NBA. But unfortunately, guys, that's going to be for this video. So comment below, do you agree with me? Do you think the Atlanta Hawks are about to be very scary? What do you think they're going to be able to do? Do you think they make the playoffs next year? How far do you think they make it? On here are thoughts in the comment section below. And if you like the video at any point, like I said earlier, hit the like button and the subscribe button. That the world to me. And I hope you have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. So you need to have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah, blah, blah.